Good morning and welcome back to Cooking with Kale. I'm your host, Kale, and we're working on script 2 for my hour of seconds, which is 1 hour working on my secondary project, 1 hour a day, followed by at least 2 hours on your primary thread slash project. This is going to give you a lot of progress by making steady incremental progress and keeping you motivated by allowing you to do your passion project. This is the Serial Chinese Room Interprocess and Telemetry script that you can find at github.com forward slash. Wrong one. Oh, that's why it keeps popping back up. Sorry, I changed my cameras with the keyboard shortcuts, and sometimes it has unintended consequences. So, what is this? It's a hybrid embedded C++ API for data-driven development and AI applications. All right. And I'm trying to build a model context protocol server out of it. And a database, an in-memory database that can interact with AI, doing like reflections, and we have a data specification. What's the plate? Just the plate. Okay. Oh shoot! I still don't have my bunny cam set up. All right. So what's going on here? I replaced the string grow code. I don't know if it's going to work. Is this going to work? No overloaded function. What? How dare you? Isn't this total new? No, new. So the count has to be. Sorry, let me rephrase that. In order to grow the count, you're going to have to push items on the stack. So you can only shrink the count new. And then the total you can grow or you could shrink. Let me make sure that what happens if I'm shrinking the. Thing? What do we got? Destination, Izzy, total, new. Why does this say origin? And then this is count start and stop. Okay. Grow. Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. Growth. Wait, is this not static? Oh no, it's not static. What am I gonna do? Not terribly difficult code. Mostly debug stuff in here. All right, so this has to get changed to static, and this is just gonna have to get changed to one. It's gonna be the src AJT. Put this this up here. Wait, hold on. There's the source. Now we're going to say, oh wait, I'm just going to type that manually because that's kind of stupid. So now I want to call this source. Right. Let's call this destination stack. Now, when we call this, wait, why isn't this in a loop? F growth origin. And there's no return function. All right, so clearly there's something wrong with this one. Right? And wait, hold on. Origin, delete. So what happens if it goes? Wait, what am I doing? I'm a rough rider. I don't listen to your stupid rules. This. Okay, so that's right. Okay. So this is what I should have done here. Because I don't need to modify that. I don't need this. Do I need that at all? Source autoject? No. No, because I pass it in the destination autoject. Okay. And then I need to replace this with this. I don't really want that. Because this is a read-only deal. I'm just going to copy and paste this. Okay. I should put src total. Should I? Wait, let me look at the algorithm before I do that. And sometimes I use it. Sometimes it's confusing when you don't label this the source. Because you're like total. I've got a destination and a source. So which one is it? All right. Row. And then that's. I don't know if I want that to be grow anymore. Because I may shrink. Right? This is just clone. Wait. There's a difference between a clone and a copy. In that the clone will clone it exactly, including the total. So it'll shrink it. But it will not. So there has to be a difference between creating a dynamic memory copy of it and copying something to where you're not resetting the total if the total changes. and then also two, cloning it identically. So there's actually three cases there. So grow, I'm not sure I want this. What does this mean? What does this mean? This sets this, right? Clone. And then what do I do? So what if the clone? See, herein lies the confusion. So what does clone mean? All right, it's nice and easy to understand. I'm passing in the destination, the source, totally. All right, but what does this do? Does it shrink it? Like if I'm cloning it? Why is this like this? Not sure how I didn't notice it. Can't start. Can't stop. Oh, did I put the 0 in here? One. And then T array copy. I'm not sure that this is what I want here. Okay. So resize, what does that mean? So resize means that it can shrink it, and if it's larger, it'll grow the dynamic memory. But if it is not larger, then it will use the existing memory block. And this is in contrast to the clone. And a clone is like, I made a clone of myself. Boop, boop. I made a clone of that. All right? So how is that different than a copy? This is where it's a little bit confusing, nomenclature, because what does copy even mean? Like I'm copying you, right? So I would imagine a copy means that it's not like a clone. Let's say I made a clone of a book, right? I made a clone of the book that was identical to the book. So just like magically made the book just like separate into two books. Okay, that's a clone, right? But then what if I copied the book? All right, that could mean any number of things, but it would mean that I took the information from the book and I copied it from the book to something else. All right, and so like whether or not I shrunk the data types to be exactly what the book was, I don't think that's relevant. So resize, that's cool. So that total and then 0. Why would I resize to 0? Wouldn't I do then at that point in time? Total new. I've got to do this anyway. Have that total. Clone. That. This and that. It's a little bit confusing. I wonder if I just did source. Isn't this a stack? Okay. Stack start. This total. This. Okay. Wait. I'm gonna clone this. Resize to what? Total new. Wait. No. This is count. Count new. Oops. Greater than this total row. Count new. Resize. This is to count stop and start. Didn't I change that over to the other one? Because I just didn't like that. This one resizes it and then what's going on here? Probably missing an edge case here. Resize. Isn't this the one that I need? I think that's okay. Right there. That's not too bad. Better than it was for sure. Put the that goes there. That goes there. Because I have to have consistency. What? Count new row. What about resize? This isn't. Is it an and or? Let's say I got the total is. I gotta look at all of these in this. Here. So stack, clone. Stop. Total new count. If I had done it the other way around, then I could just leave that off of there, but Um, it's not consistent with how I typically pass in the start and the stop. So I find this to be less confusing just because it's the way the rest of the API is. So we got the source, we got the destination, we got the source. Oh no. Grow. But isn't this also a shrink? Grow. Isn't this another resize operation? I'm gonna rename it resize because I don't. I think growing doesn't. With this new algorithm, it doesn't really make sense. What do I want to call it? Attempt to. Now it's what resize. Okay, so what do I do here? So clone. Wouldn't I want to check whether or not I would just want to like this one? I'm okay with that one saying clone because hold on, what's this one? Well, then wouldn't I need to do a different thing? So what is the purpose of this? I need to be able to clone the memory. It just has to happen. So all right, this one probably legit. Okay, but I don't want to use this because really, personally, I'd rather actually make this a const. Yeah, I would have definitely this comment would no longer be valid if I didn't do that. It's okay to add a little bit of overhead here. There's resize. And then what does resize do? So clone will not touch that. So if I want to do resize, so what does this mean if it's negative? It means you double the total if it's a negative. And then the count new, you can only shrink that. All right, so let's go into take this. THS. Are we in the string? The SCK THS is equal to this. So now we want to check to see if f total new less than 0. Then we're going to go do what? Total new equals THS. Don't have to check if it's nil. Total. Wait, auto grow. Right. Auto eject. Grow. Oops. Total. All right. What if I do if the count is less than 0? So I total that. If it's less than 0. Okay. So let's do else if total new is less than count new. Wait, hold on. Wait. Do we have a thing? Else. What do I need to do? Just count. Is he count? Wait, no, that's the point here. Count. Total new is less than count. So then I'm going to shrink the. Wait, do I check to see if. Hold on, count new. Why would that be -1? That wouldn't do anything. Okay. So we'll check F. Count new is less than 0. Return nil. All right. Count new. Wait. This doesn't make sense. Count new. Wouldn't that just be setting it to count? Setting count new to 0 would just delete it. You would just set the thing. Let's say 1. Total new is less than 0. Wait. I don't think anything. Okay, so now we've dealt with that. Then we're going to check to see if count. What if count is 0? It's okay if we set count to 0 because we're just deleting everything. It's like a extremely low cost operation. But what if we want to wipe the memory too? Yeah, I don't know what to say. Deal with that brooch when we come with it. Security hazards? Never heard of them. What is security? Oh no. Security. We need some security over here. Oh, I wish I could just. Oh, do I not even have the timer up? Oh, what's going on? Probably about what it is. We're at what 31 minutes into the live stream. Here, let me just reset this. Maybe just one more time. Maybe just one more time, just for fun. All right. We're having fun. Okay. So I'm going to check to see if the count is too high later. Wait. So if count new. Count is put that there. So if the total new is less than 0, we want to grow from the total. But do I need to check to see if it's actually growing? Wait, grow total less than 0. Wait. So how would I do? So I want to resize, and I don't know what, say I want to call this function, and I just want it to, this would double apparently. So if it's -1 and then -1, what is that going to do? Means I don't really know the count right now. Please look up the count. The total, I want you to, is it, I see, would it make sense if I'm resizing and then the total, I treated that like the count, where the count is, if it's -1, you just set that to the current count. But the total, it's not going to work the same, which is a little bit confusing. But if I don't know the total and I'm trying to resize it, because if you ask me, I don't have the mental bandwidth when I'm like debugging later on because I forgot, and so um, having two rules I think is going to be too hard for me to remember later on, or for somebody else to figure out what my rules were that maybe I didn't document that good. So I would imagine that, yeah, the rules not being the same in this particular context are probably going to be okay because I only have one rule. So I have to have something if it's negative. What if I'm resizing it to 0 though? Is resizing an ASCII data type to 0 legitimate operation? Isn't that just setting it equal to null? I do like that. I'm gonna go with that. But what about, you see, the count can't be more than the total, right? So I can set it to 0, the total to 0. If total new is less than count. Oh, right. I put it there. Wait, maybe I don't need this anymore. If total new is less than count, what does that mean? Well, I didn't know the count, right? And so then I looked up the count from this, right? So that would mean that this is a shrink operation, right? What count equals total new, right? Nice. I think that's it. What was it? Oops. One day I'll have my keyboard driver, and I'm always overwhelmed with projects, and then always add more. Throw another project on there to kill later and be upset about. Or let us say depressed about. Hey, there's a time and a place for diverging thought on as many different projects as possible and converging on the best one. I was actually just joking with you start another project to kill it later. There's nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly fine if you do that, dude. You should not feel bad about you starting a bunch of ideas and then picking the one that you wanted to do the most. I mean, for real. Now that I phrased it that way, I don't think you're going to find many people who would disagree with that. All right, so what's going on? Okay, so what am I going to do here? Does this fix this logic? So if the count is less than 0, let's just look up the count. So that's separate from this one. All right. If the total new is less than 0, then we're going to grow it. If the total new is less than the count, what is the count now? Count new? Count new? Total new is less than count new. If the total new is less than the count new. Wait, total new is less than the count new. So wait. So I'm calling the resize function. I am lazy programmer. I don't know the count, or I was too lazy to load the count, which I'm not too lazy, but other people are going to be too lazy to do that. So I didn't know the count, but I knew I wanted to just resize it. Let's say I wanted to null it out. So I called this, and then I set total to new, and then I set count new to -1. All right. So the fact that I set total new to 0 is no different than if I had set it to 1 or 2. They're all going to function the same way. They're just going to delete. And then if I want to wipe the memory after that, then I'm going to have to add another function. My hands are tied on that. Don't have the ability to write that function right now. We've got a limited scope, but what we can do are way over scope with this. All right, so now count new, total new. So I grew it, right? Else the total new is less than count new. Then I set the count new. And then there's nothing wrong with that. So let's say I set the count new to 5, and then I set the total new to 4. Is that an error? Set that. For right now, I'm going to say it's an error because I don't know whether or not it is, and I can change it from an error to a non-error. Else if Count new is greater than total new. I'm gonna return nil, and then else if that. I'm saying that this is an error if the count new is greater than the total new. Count new is greater than the total new. Because we can only shrink. Okay. Count new. If total new is less than count new. And then where is this total? Wait. So this is an automatic grow. Right? And then so if total new is less than count new. What's count new? So didn't I set count new to this count? Wait. I can't do this. Because I said count new is less than this count, right? So then it might be that total is greater than that. I'm gonna have to delete this. I can't do that because if I set count new to total. Wait, no, I said if the total is over, count new is greater than total. Right, because I can't grow it. Wait. If count new is greater than, I think I need the total. Wait, where's count new? All right. If count new is greater than total. What if count new is equal to total? Well, I would handle it in the next one because it's a little bit different. So this total new less than 0, auto grow. And we do the else because it's, if it's less than 0, then it's not in this block. We're looking for total new is less than count new. The total new is less than the count new. We're just shrinking. We're going to shrink the count to the total. Okay? And then we check if total new is less than total, less than or equal to total. Then we're going to do this equals total new count new. And then return. I'm returning. Wait. Does this make sense? Right? Because this is just a simple shrink, right? So attempt to resize. This is not part of this. Okay. What does attempt to resize mean? Long, origin. So what if it didn't do that? F. Wait. IU footer origin new equals row dot origin F footer is valid origin new. All right. Else. Now it's in. What is this? Footer is valid. Autoject, delete this. Set to the origin. Then return. T footer SCK. Origin. You got to admit, man, this is a pretty productive API if you know how to use it. I feel like it's like really smooth and fluid to type. I feel like it. Well, I know it is because it's just really short and concise. Now, there's definitely complexities. I'm trying to eliminate these complexities with these auto objects as much as possible. I can't really like change the API to be not optimal. Pointer is valid. So this one's now it's invalid. And so why was the pointer invalid? If this pointer was valid. Right? Else. So what do I do here? So the pointer was invalid. What does that mean in this sentence? Aren't I supposed to have some like explanation of what I'm returning? Right. Let us do that. Return. Let's be a good programmer. Nil if the inputs are invalid. Nilp if the inputs are invalid. You have to admit, this is so much better. Nilp is so much better than null putter. I mean, come on. Really? Seriously, you can't do nilp? What's wrong with nilp? There's nothing wrong with nilp. Everybody likes nilp. Nilp is the best. Nilp is as good as T putter. It is. And C putter. It is. I swear to God. T putter. I don't know, man. Which one's better, nilp or T putter? I see both of them all over the place, so I'm going to have to give it a tie. That's how you know it's a good function, is when it's used all over the place, and you don't want to use any other function because they're just a pain in the ass to type. Now, I would maybe possibly utilize some sort of like software that converted ASCII C++ to C++ standard library. I mean, it wouldn't be horrible. I mean, you got to admit, a C++ standard library replacement that is designed for data-driven development based on a data specification that is awesome and extremely concise and easy to program with. I think that it's pretty attractive. I personally think this is the future of C++ because you got to admit, for dealing with memory, this is like pretty good, dude. I mean, you got to know how a RAM factory works, but I mean, you could just go look at the code and it's like 5 lines of code. There's like nothing in there. It's just a way to create memory. And then how do I automate the memory deletion? Okay, with the Chinese room abstract stack machine. I don't have all that figured out, but it's going to be cool because this thing allows me to pass the memory from one side of an assembly line boundary to another, a producer consumer. So the DLL can produce the memory and the EXE can consume the memory and vice versa. And this, people would usually say, is like you're crazy, bro. You can't do that. But it's really not even difficult at all. All you got to do is this little RAM factory. It's like 5 lines of code. But then you have to utilize this to make and delete your memory, which is okay. Because we just call it, wrap it in the delete function, and you just say delete this autoject. This thing like delete. If I wanted to delete, I would say delete. Yes. Wait. Let's change this. Let's add another one here. Okay. Origin equals nil. All right. All right. Cool. Yeah, it already works like that. I like this. It's one function. I like it. I could replace this with like RAM factory delete. Right. Do I have grow clone? Grow clone name. I don't know if I'm doing that anymore. Function count too. What am I doing? Now we're like completely screwed, huh? RAM factory. What am I doing? Replacing the RAM. From where? It's supposed to be the destination. And so the RAM factory allows you to get a RAM factory stack and a RAM factory heap. And so the difference is that the RAM factory stack does not delete memory because it's on the stack. And that wouldn't make any sense. So the RAM factory heap is going to delete your dynamic memory based upon whatever's in this object. And so the object is designed, these things just stay on the stack, these objects. These are not like the AJT. This.AJT. Wait, I wouldn't call this.AJT. This would return the T stack. It's OBJ. How did that compile? Don't ask me how that compiled. I hate it when stuff like that happens. So OBJ stack bytes. T stack bytes with total. So it's going to give me the size of a stack in bytes with this given total. D array y. could almost replace this with DRAM wipe. Because this is in bytes, right? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna replace this with DRAM wipe. It's actually more consistent with my nomenclature. Because the array is actually like an ASCII array, and so that I still wouldn't do. A D array wipe would actually be, it would not wipe the total of the array. So a DRAM wipe is going to wipe RAM from the start to the stop. Or sorry, from the start through the given bytes. All right. The buffer was empty. What's going on? How am I being productive here? Total. Wow. I'm easy up in there. I'm not. Total new is less than count new. And it's just a shrink operation, just as if I passed in a count new that is lower than the current count. So let's say I passed in a total new that was less than the current total, but was greater than the count new. Okay. So then I'm just reducing the total. Right? Else if total new less than count new. Is there else? And then it's total new. I don't think we do anything here. I'm not 100% sure my logic's solid here because I'm covering two cases with one with I'm covering three cases here with the one if else. I think with this logic, it's subtle. This is a place where you would easily find a bug in my logic. So if total new is less than 0, I mean that one's not too bad at all. So if total new is less than count new, total new is less than count new, we just set the count new to that. So then let's say that the total new is still greater than the count new. Then what do you do? Do I just set this? So when did I set the total new equal to something? They set the total new. Okay, so the logic is handled by the outside function. I think that this might be sufficient, but I'm still a little bit confused because it is a little bit of a tricky one. Total new is less than or equal to total. Then we just so let's say, oh yeah, so I actually handle that case that I was thinking about in here actually. So if the total new is less than or equal to total, I just shrink it, and I don't really count new. So if I shrunk the count new, I just handled that with that. And if I shrunk the count, so if the count new is less than total. Okay. What did I do here? I don't really care because either way I shrunk it. So I think that this covers both, and then I'm done. It's just a well written, a little bit clever. Could have a button. So when I clone, what do I want to do? Where did I put my growth? Where's my growth autoject? I only need to set this one once. So then the growth, I attempted to resize it, but then it was valid. So then I set the origin footer. Don't I have to set the RAM too? Yeah, because it could switch from the stack to the heap, right? So what? THS dot RAM equals THS dot RAM nil 0. What does this do? And this will switch it from, if it's in the stack. Wait, clone. What did clone do? Wait, don't I need to do? Didn't I already do that in this? Oh, I already set it. Where'd the resize go? No, it's the growth. Wait, THS. Wait, hold on. Wait, this is AJT. I can bring this up here. So what happened if it was not valid? What do I do? What? Assert false. So the clone should work. When does the clone not work? When the inputs are invalid. Autoject grow. Okay. So it might actually. So I wouldn't want to do that in a loop, huh? Does this thing have a loop? So it just doesn't array. Okay, so, but this thing attempts to double the total if the total is less than 0. All right. Let's say so I wouldn't do this, would I? The total is less than 1. This would be duplicating the code in the other thing, but I'm going to let it stay here because um, I think it's okay if I duplicate that code right here. Just because I got to do this. So what's going to happen? I'm just going to, I could, I'm just going to, oh, I guess this function needs to go down here. Count new and 0. Uh-oh, what's this? This doesn't look right. Resize what? No, isn't it total new and count new? Resize what? Count new is greater than total. Okay, so what about count is greater than total? So I could do there's two options. I could either resize it to the new count new, or I could double it in size. Okay. So this total. So we have to figure out what if I could just like double it until it fits in the total, or I could just resize it to the new count new. That's one option. Or I could make it double the count. What would be the appropriate action to take? I think the appropriate action to take would just be to resize it to the. I told it to clone it. I didn't tell it to grow and clone. Typically when you get a clone, you would get one that's like the exact size. I can still double the size later, but I don't really have a good method of doing that. So this is clone function. Got to resize. T stack start. Why would I have it at T stack start? Would this overwrite? Isn't it T stack top? And then wouldn't I want to put in Wait, T stack start plus this. Clone. Oh, wait, hold on. What am I doing? Cloning. If I passed in at another stack, what does that mean? I'm like deleting. Excluding. So clone. Does that necessarily mean that the. Because this is where the nomenclature is really confusing. Like, where does clone mean that the. I'm. So when I pass in a pointer to a stack to clone, what is the difference in between copying the stack and cloning the stack? Wouldn't it be including because I'm cloning? So it would be rough, dude. Oh dear. I don't want to have to debug this. I just change some stuff. Stack equals clone. Go to insert. Inputter is error. We're going to return. Oh, you got to return a negative, right? Because it's an error. And then. So this should not happen under almost all circumstances. This means that it cannot grow any bigger. Well, hold on. I mean, yeah, that will happen under normal circumstances, but uh, if you're careful with what you're doing, it won't happen under those, unless you want it to happen or allow it to happen, shall I say? Hour 15. I was really hoping to let's get the string working. I wasn't really clone. It's just what? What is the thing? And what am I missing? Oh, the source. Stack. What about do I know anything about the total in this context? Clone. Can't grow anymore. Okay. Maybe I should just rename this death. Origin. Where's what? Age 18. Okay. All right. Age 18. Why do I have go to insert? There's an error. Go to insert. Stack insert. Oh, so I cloned, right? So I grew and cloned, and then going back to insert. Okay. So we attempt to do the insert again. It seems okay to me. Do I need to do the? This should work. Insert, and then whenever it's less than 0, it'll go. And so what does that mean? So if we get the error, we just boogie woogie out here. That's it, right? And I still can't figure out why it's not compiling, right? Overload function could not convert all the argument types. I clone this one too. Wait. No, this isn't it. Grow. What is this? Grow. Source. Isn't this a clone? Huh? Clone. Okay. So first off, this is a SCK. That's why it wouldn't work. Do I want to do this? The clone function, I don't particularly care. Shouldn't I just do equals -1, count new is equals to count new? And that puts me over. All right. So if I'm going to grow it, then I just use the -1 thing because I already have that syntax. I think all this is gone. Oh yeah, kind of on my camera. Wait. Footer is valid. Wait a minute. Hold on. How do I know I would want to delete the source? What if it was a shrink operation? Yeah, how do I find out if it's a shrink operation? So the source origin, right? So wouldn't I do f source origin not equal to growth origin? Delete? I think that's all I got to do right there, right? That was nice. I'm actually pretty happy that, yeah. Does it work? Footer is valid. CK identifier not found. Hmm? What? T stack T Izzy? I thought I changed it. Do I have some funny business going on here with the character with the CHT is messing everything up? So SCK is supposed to be T and an Izzy, right? And then string is supposed to be the same. Sorry, string supposed to be right. Not sure if I need to go that far. What is it? T rope is in. What am I doing? Y is B. Because the other one's a C. STRA. I really think it matters. It's just never going to change. Harder to read like that. Might be dry, but it's totally harder to read. Here's some bunnies fighting. What's this? Oops. I'm going crazy here. How is a stack an undeclared identifier? What line was that at? T first. Doesn't make any sense. You just have to have the T in the ISI. Used to be that the string had a CHT instead of a T, and then I changed it to a T because it was too much of a pain in the butt. Because I wasn't able to share the. I wasn't able to share the macro. I'm just so confused. T footer. I mean, I could just do this. Oh yeah, got a bug. Can you see it? No, you can't. Yay! We're rough riding it today, bro. Shouldn't be terribly difficult to change this one with the new shared code between the stack and the string. Testing, where does it work? Where am I copying this? That whoa, totally is not copying at all. Alright, let's go look at the. Might have to do this tomorrow. I did actually get 3 hours work on the self-driving car class. I hate paying for classes and not doing them. I don't know. I felt okay doing my homework, and I, felt normal. I just wish I could go back and redo everything. Well, that's my problem. I went back and redid it. Well, there's undeniable. There's certain things that I hit out of the park. There's also undeniable that I'm still working on this. I should not be. I should be using it, maybe building more advanced things with it. Unfortunately, this is not where I want to be at. But I'm almost back up to working on the Chinese room abstract stack machine. But then I redid this thing to have these context types. And then now, it's been a month at least doing this shit nonstop, dude. Blowing off everything else. And I got a stack of legal papers. You want to see something crazy? This whole stack of legal paperwork. Boom. Look at that, baby. Oh. I might get a couple $1 million. like that, but whew. I need to look at this. This is actually really interesting. Yeah, I think their argument sucks. Their argument is they can do whatever they want with arbitrary state power. I told them, no, the state has to operate off explicit laws. You got to show me which ones you're operating off of, and they don't have them. They never found any evidence against me. They're screwed. I took me like 4 years, or for almost 4 years to get the documents from them, and then I get the documents, and they completely violated all their own rules. They're screwed. They're screwed. We're already in the Ninth Circuit. They're dead. They need to give me money. How much money? We'll see. Might be $2.35 million. And I get the plan. My plan is to buy an RV and then put a down payment on a warehouse and then rent out part of the warehouse and then live in the RV. I won't be able to afford a whole house or a whole warehouse because the warehouse prices are pretty high. But I could afford a tour bus RV with like an old one and then put a down payment on a warehouse and then still do the other project. I think that's the best way to do it. You want to leverage your money? All right. So what am I doing here? So I'm still writing around. That's not good. I mean, I'm not supposed to be writing around there. It looks like the first time when I wrote it here, that worked okay. And then it says D's nuts, so you know it's working, baby. So where did it go? You went from what? 16? We got 16 characters in the buffer. All right, then where does it go from 32? Does this constantly stay at 16? I think I've played this game before, dude. But hey, the stack unit test didn't bug out though. What are we looking for? Clunk. Oh, is it right in front of me? Oh, hey, look, it's right in front of me. All right, so now we got to look at the where am I setting the origin? All right. So, and then what's this one doing? T stack. I wonder if I can replace this with the thing again. Does that work again? I don't want to do that. T stack. Kind of weird. It's like, SCK parameters. That one works fine. This one works. Nothing sus about this. I just am so confused about that. T stack. What happens with this clone thing? Clone doesn't delete it, right? Static. Stack. This just does the stack clone, right? Well, I already debugged that, right? SDK. Total new count. Wait, hold on. Don't I have to do the wait clone? Don't I need to do object source? Okay. But what about the start and the stop? All right, doesn't this one have a start and stop now? Oh, right. So maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. So do I just need to put count new, or do I need to update this to be the count new? I only mention it here, so I'm just going to add the parameters. So count start, and then this is going to be is equal to 0 with z. Count stop is equal to -1. And so let's see where I'm calling this in this function. There's this, so there's count. And what is the context? I'm in print, right? So then I'm just going to add the 0 into there, into the arguments, or parameters, shall I say. And then do again stop. Does that help? Is it copying? I don't see it copying. So it looks like it's like, printed testing, and then it printed 1. It looks like it like didn't replace. And then look at this. What is this? Ing 1. Am I not replacing the null termination character or not recopying the object? Where is the I have to be not saving the object after I cloned it, right? But that's doing it right here, right? Is it even calling this? What is the sorry, not the call stack, the autos. What are the autos saying? Oops. Well, that's nice. Test string. Wait, so did it like went through the test and then it just like failed? Did it fail spectacularly? Who's gonna check that shit, man? So first print. Did it fail? Am I not updating the count? So count. Why is this like this? Oh wait, can't see that. Oops. Oh, I hate it when it jumps down to the bottom. Count 8. Testing. 8 characters. Okay. It works there. So it's not even trying to grow, right? It's just like printing. I have 16 characters, right? The total is 16. The count is 0. So I mean, I should be able to fit all this stuff in here. And so it's just what is it saying? Count goes down to 1. I'm confused. So I printed, and then the count was still 0. So the count is not being updated after the clone operation. Does it look like the same? 1. I'll see any copy stuff going on. There's 3. It put 1 there. I'm kind of confused a little bit about that. So there's a 1, printed 1, and then it says count 1. Wait, but it didn't hit this code, right? Huh? I'm really confused. So it didn't hit the line of code, right? It just, yeah. All right. So that's not where I should be looking. How did I print? Here. Should be right here, right? Yellow. Doesn't want to do anything. Okay. Well, it's hitting here. And F not result. All right. What are my autos? The result, the start, the stop. The start and the stop are the same. I gotta come up with some video ideas for this channel. I'm not just doing live. I'm doing live coding, so you can pop in, and then maybe I can hang out with people after the live coding thing and chat about stuff. But I'm not planning on doing the same thing every day. This is my like mix it up channel, but this is like zombie mission going on right now. So this a stack origin. What is this? I don't understand. What's this one? Origin equals blah. I don't understand that right now. So let's look at the what did it print? The bottom. So I'm still like it printed it, and then it never updated the count, right? So what was the result? I could just let it go. The result is not null. Okay. So I would be done, right? And then result minus start, right? So what is result? So the result is not the same as the start, right? So it's 8. So it should have printed 8 characters, which is what we're expecting to print, right? And then let's see, does it not print this? Oh, wait, I didn't want to do that. All right. For debug purposes, I'm just going to put redo that. And then now we can see what is going on. Yeah, the count new should have been 8, right? So stat count new. Am I not putting the thing in the right? Where am I setting this SCK variable? And then I got that at the that's well. I got it at the origin. Did it grow? Okay. So it did not go into the growth thing. So I should be. Why am I returning this? Wait, print. Oh, because it's operator overloader abstract printer. The debug string. Okay. Just so confused. Maybe I'll like print around in the next one. Printed one, and it does say 8. Oh, am I not printing to the top? So it does actually say I printed it right. So I'm just tripping and like that's not it. So I don't think that this is where I want the breakpoint at. Or do I? So where is the am I not so the start is at the T stack begin plus the count. Well, I would agree that that would be where the start is. And then the stop is the start plus the total. Okay. And then what's wrong with this? Result. So the count, I'm just confused as to why it's not printing. Because it seems to be this start is calculated correctly if you ask me. So I got the beginning of the stack. I'm going to stack characters. All right. Isn't this an SCK? I used to not. Is that, am I still having that problem? What? It's just so confusing. Did I not undef it? Do I need to do this? Did I like space that out on all of these? Doesn't help. I don't know why though. Yeah, I think I need to undefine these. Right? Does it matter if I define them multiple times? No, I have to undef them before because, or in the debug and the release because I have different things that I do with them. So I run this undef, and this allows me to change all the debug macros. That's not it though. Yeah, it works just fine in this one, right? And it's like littered. Well, I can't do that. No, I want to. It's being stupid. Okay. The count is maybe I need to go back to this thing being here. So its count is 0 right here. Where did I print that? So chars F right here. Between start and stop. Okay. But the count did not get set. But then I looked at the this is the first one, right? Does the count get set at the bottom? Okay, so the count gets set at the bottom on this one. Maybe I need to put it here. All right. Maybe this will be better debug information. So that's there. And then what do I have to do? Click it twice. Yeah, I don't think I was getting good debug information there. I had to click it twice. So here's printed one. I'm just unsure where this is coming from. Maybe I need to print out the origin, pointer, and hex so I can see where it's at, because why am I going to result? So the second one, it did have a proper count. This one doesn't. This one's gonna go. This doesn't tell me anything. I don't care that it's immature, but it just doesn't really tell me anything. And what does works here say? I don't really want it there because I don't really know why I was looking there. Maybe I could try that. Oops. Whoa, what happened there? DC out string OBJ. Well, yeah, I wouldn't really do that, huh? These things. Length 8. Length is 9. This is tested 1. Wait. Well, that's right. Yeah, that's what I want. I want testing one. Well, that was actually kind of an accident that I uncommented that actually, but that was here. It shows that yeah, I got something going on. So it didn't have to grow, right? And then printed, and then this one's whack. Kind of don't get it. What just happened? Maybe I need to look at the print code. I think is maybe this isn't what I would want to see. Why does it say size? I'm just gonna print out the count. I don't know why the count is like this. I'm gonna have to say it was kind of a weird way to go about doing that. Oh, it's debug information. I don't think that I want that there. What happens if I put the length and then the string? I think this is kind of stupid. How about we just do this? Oops. Can't type string count. Just do how's this look? Better? Still looks like garbage? Does it look like hot garbage now or cold garbage? What is this? Garbage. Huh? C size. Um, I don't see it. I don't know what happened. What's the other one? DC on string, and then but it just prints out a string. Maybe I should just do S. Okay. So what is going wrong again? Cannot convert it from an object to a string. Okay, so I gave you a string. DC on string. And then T string print. Could have been a string, right? This should be okay. Hours. I need to switch pages. I never want to switch pages, dude. Auto-eject to const string. I don't understand. Why is it? What is the origin? Yeah, that's the thing. Is it's not. It's an auto-eject. The obj is the auto-eject. I'm. I don't understand why it's barking. Footer, string, origin, string out, and then expands out to this. DC out string, which just prints out to here, and then it's a str. Oh, this doesn't make any sense. Maybe we could try a const. Object to a const string. Just kind of confused because it's not like that. Const str pointer. These nuts. How about you print these nuts, baby? Oh, damn, son. Shit. I guess I got bigger problems than that. Can't even print these nuts. Shit, son. How do I do that? Const star these nuts. DC out. String. T Izzy. Yeah. Const string. That doesn't make any sense. Where is it? Where am I supposed to be printing? T string start. So this is okay. Isn't this T string begin? They're both the same in this context. Technically, we would want to say this. Start. How do I walk this? Where do I increment scan? Start. It's just so confusing why this was doing this. It was working just a second ago. I don't need that. I'm just not cool enough, huh? And it's saying it can't convert an object to a string. Is there another T string print? There has to be like 2 T string prints. And it's just like popping up the other one. That's it? Sometimes that can help reduce some bugs. Can I fix this one? T string print. But there's no T string begin. T string begin. T stack begin. Wait. T footer. Turn it into a stack. What? Gonna make me do it again. T stack. I don't know why it's doing that. There's no right hand type it takes. Sorry. What's that in? I think they got rid of it. There. This. Hold on. Wait. What happened? Did 140 disappear? Did 136? Isn't this string begin? And then string begin just calls stack begin. What is it? So now 140's gone. Still gone. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. The last one. Nope, it is not the last one. It is. Wait. Isn't there no size anymore? Damn it. How did that happen? Alright, I don't understand why this is misbehaving. Is there no T string begin, T string start? I need to get off of here. I never want to like stop programming this. Means I shouldn't do it for my hour of seconds. I should do something else. It gets kind of boring when it's the same thing every day. Oh, I don't have a const. T pointer. Oh, I cannot convert from constant T pointer to T pointer. What? T pointer. Why is this like this? Huh? All right. Now we're back up in business. What do we got? What do we got? Come on. Give me some code. Come on. Give it to me, baby. Testing. Oh, there it goes. Printing normal there. And then count 2. Count 1. Count 8. Oh, wait. Right. What about this? Growth is equal to. Right. What about this? This is what about start? Isn't this begin? Why it needs to be begin. And this is the end. It's not going to change. So it's the end. See, now that I can see the thing, now the growth is what the result is begin. Begin plus count. Oh, wait. Oh, this is the start. Oh, right. Right. So this is the begin. Wait. T putter begin equals this. And then we're going to say. Wait, hold on. Did I put begin up here? Okay, so I put begin up here. Begin equals T stack grow. Start. This is why you do this. It's not there. Right, now it'll work. Yay, that was a nice and easy fix. I love it when the fixes are nice and easy. So where's this start bugaboo coming from? So we can see. Whoa. Holy crap. Got more errors than me and your mom, bro. Woo! Let me tell you. That one was rough. Maybe I need music when I program. I don't have any copyright free stuff. Ow. Would be nice if there was like some sort of YouTube channel that had live bands that did not copyright for the purposes of you using the live music for a live stream at that current time. Think about that, right? So, if you're a band and you're trying to promote yourself and you're like, okay, well, I'm not giving you unlimited license to use my music, but you could say that on that day when that thing was streamed, you could set up the automated copyright bots pretty easily to just give those channels that used the music right to use it for just that one video. Who knows? They might want to lease the music after that. Yeah, I think there's so many missed opportunities from greedy record companies. They're greedy. All right, so is this doing it now? Oh my god. What? Get out of here. Izzy, start. What are you talking about? There we go. What do we got? Oops. Let it roll. I got a feeling it's fixed. Maybe I could. I don't want to miss it. Oh no, it didn't work. No. I would have swore it worked. So what did it do? Maybe it's just printing that debug information. Why is it 2, 1? Damn, I swore that would have fixed it. Uh-oh. Oh, great. Let's put this one back. This debug script going again. Is it printing? It's not printing it right at all. Huh? Count 2. It's also not printing the T string print. This one. It's not printing the end of the string thing before this. Is this where it needs to be? Wait. All right, there's the thing. Printing one. Total count A, and then result. Result minus begin. Where else am I setting the count to? Result minus begin for that. Both of them. I'm confused. Am I doing this twice? Looks like I'm setting it twice. Oh, wait. Hold on. Look at this. What's up with this? Which one do I set? Hold on. Wait, did I grow? Oh, I have a growth here. Okay, so the growth dot count. Right. But then I'm changing the stack count. The growth count. And then am I not setting the thing? So I'm setting this, and then wouldn't I set, where's the autoject? OBJ. So aren't I supposed to put the OB? Why is it OBJ? AJC. Not an OBJ. Autoject dot origin equals growth dot. Wait. What is growth? Oh shit. Wait. Wait. This is wrong. I am supposed to do. So growth is not what. I'm supposed to have autoject growth equals nil. And what? Autoject. What is nil? So clone. What? Clone. Where is this clone? Wait, I thought I was supposed to pass back a, because this one's static, right? Aren't I supposed to pass? Aren't I supposed to? What am I cloning? Source origin. It doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. I'm supposed to have the. This is supposed to be the destination. And then I'm supposed to have a const string source. That's over. No, that's exactly there. Destination. Wait, aren't I supposed to put desktop RAM? I don't think that I was supposed to do that there. I think this is just supposed to do your clone. All right. So then whenever I pass in the thing into the other clone function, what am I trying to do? Growth. Right. But then I need to pass in the SCK. I think that's it. That's yeah, makes sense. So T string. Why is this? Wait. So str new. This says str. So why is it? That's not supposed to say. T stack begin. T string begin. I don't really think this is necessarily a good thing to do. So this is it's a string. This is completely unnecessary. I'm just printing, but that calls the clone function. All right, and then the rest of them, I just call t string begin. Yeah, I think that's it. String total. Str new. What? I messed up there. AJT origin. What is that? So I just group, right? AJT origin equals um Okay, wait, hold on. Isn't it the growth dot origin? Wait. It has to have the RAM factory in here. So what is the RAM factory that I'm using? Why am I doing this here? Oh, because I'm trying to print. This is like I should really have this in a debug information. Do I really want that there? Assert factory. Uh-oh. FD this. I really don't like that. Oops. Okay, so but this thing should be printing to it. So what am I supposed to be doing? When ajt.ram. I hate it when it does that. So hard to see the stuff. So what is this? I'm still gonna need this, I guess. So this is the one that I don't need. F not string new. Wait, why does it say begin? What about start? No. Wait, so F the string new could not clone. What do I do? I need to not do that. F putter is error. Yeah, I've converted away from a naked pointer checker, dude. Even if you don't follow my rules of ASCII pointers with the ASCII error pointer errors is the first 255 time or first 256 values with 0 just being in general false. Boy, it's 11:06, huh? I just want this to work so bad. No. Even after this, I have to like go through a whole bunch of shit with the context types. I didn't even want to do this. But I broke something and then I found a bunch of bozo stuff, and so I fixed that. So when did its count get set to 1? So why is it saying count 1 and then the string prints like this? When did I set the count? I thought I did that with the result minus begin. I mean, that's okay, right? 29 and then 28, so that's going to be 1. Wait. Okay, so this is why I like Visual Studio, even though I don't like Bill Gates. You know, you can dislike Bill Gates and not support his politics, and still like Visual Studio for C++. It's perfectly fine. Sometimes people you don't like do good things that you like. Yeah, I just wish I had a friend come help out with my show. He couldn't help out with whoever that friend would be. Could not help out with this show because this one's sent like so early in the morning. It's just like not gonna happen. Oh yeah, don't I have to do the count equals? I'm setting the reset. Need to add a reset and wipe. And so this one is where I'm at, like you can see I'm at 28, 29, and then setting it to 1. So why is the begin? Where did I get the begin? T stack begin. Oh, plus count. Damn you. Same problem here, and this is why you don't do that. Where's the begin? So what do I need? Start equals begin plus count. So begin. No, I print at the start. Right, and then the begin is where the begins at. Oh, so the start. I have the start wrong. Oh. I gotta change that. I'm returning the start is T string start begin plus. So the one technicality of the string is that the length is the count minus 1 instead of the count, because it's a stack of characters, and one of those characters has to be the nil termination character, or else we would buffer overflow. Oh man, this stuff's dead. Nobody expected to protect themselves from the state. This whole stack of papers from their lawyer is almost like abuse, but I got him in a pickle, man. State of Oregon is facing some Section 1983 charges. I got them so screwed. Well, they screwed themselves. All right, what am I doing? Dang it. So the T string start is not the same. What does this need to be? Wait. Don't I have to then C footer this? Wait, that doesn't make sense, does it? No. I can fit it in a line though. It's not horrible. Would make some purist cringe that I just converted from my const to a non-const, but I figure the compiler is supposed to take care of that. I know what I'm doing. It just doesn't work right with the cast if you don't do it like this. Unfortunately, I wish it worked the other way around. I definitely would switch it in a heartbeat, but would not have to convince me. But the thing is that it works that way. It doesn't work the other way. So DC out string. What is this saying? Saying I'm a punk B. Saying cannot convert from object to a string. When did I do this again? Is it the same one I've had there? Damn. What is this? Second one just because I'm feeling like I don't want to look at that one. 397. And it says what? It says your mom cannot convert from object to a string. Let me clean this and I really do need to go and do the class. I'm trying to get through that class as soon as possible. Keep adding more classes. Do I ever get through them? Sometimes. Sugar, what are you doing? Baby, you know you're not supposed to do that. I'm gonna give these bugs some cake. Bought this stuff for my bunnies. It's like some fancy Timothy hay. They don't really care about it. It's just hay to them. Been like rationing it out and been here for a very long time. I just think they just don't even care at all. So origin. Why is this like this? Got the C out. That's my printer. And T Izzy S. It's just I'm so confused because there's no autoject here. It says cannot convert argument 2 from autoject to const string. It's like, what are you trying to convert from autoject to argument 2 to const? Autoject to const string. But I don't see anything that prints with an autoject. It's like a phantom error. I should probably move on. What was the other one? I try to ignore errors like that. If there's a lot of phantom errors. This one seems more fixable. So cannot convert 2 from stack to const string. Huh? Where did I get that? That's up here. Is it because I'm printing? I don't want to call this a stack. I'm going to call it a string. Both a stack is a string is a stack of characters, but I don't want to have that here. This is a T string. No, this is a stir equals a putter to a stir, baby. Putter to a stir. All right. Okay, and then where am I? Then I'm going to start bugging me that I didn't use it as a stack. That I'd rather do that. Stack begin. I can say string begin. Call that function. Is that just it? That's just it. Oh, hey, look, it fixed the other one. Yeah. That's why you don't. If the error looks like it's like confusing and it looks like it should be right, move on to the next error. Sometimes one error was like causing the other error and you didn't even notice it. All right, we got this. We got this. We got this. We're almost here. We're almost there. We're almost everywhere. What is it working? Oh, hey, look, it's working. I didn't even notice that. See how it works. Oh, fail. The kale fail. Damn. gotta do? Oh, I don't think all right, so what happened? So it printed without growing this time. And then it did the test 1, 2, 3, and then it could not grow. I can't wait to get my printf function going. I'm gonna have the best printf you've ever seen. First off, we don't use variadic macro or variadic parameters or a parameter list. A variable argument list, VA list. Instead, we just only allow you to. Well, I mean, we do have that, but we have functions that you can. So you don't have to use that variable argument list. We just have a bunch, like up to 10 parameters. And maybe I might do 16 so we could do hex, because that'll be okay. All right. So $3.99 at where? Failed at $3.99, huh? Always assert result. Why would I want to always assert? It's a deassert because I might want to do wait, deassert result. What is the do I need to do putter is valid? Yeah, I need to stop doing naked pointer checks. I like putter as error. My stomach hurts. It's lunchtime. All right. Failed. Attempting to autograph from stack to apparently it didn't do any sort of autograph stuff. It happened at $3.99. I reprinted that. Where'd start come from? So is this my first attempt to start? This is my second attempt. And then so a clone. T string begins stir new. Start begin plus count and wonder what that was. Begin plus total. How did that even compile? Wait, do I already have end? Okay. and equals begin. Start new. Reprinted begin. The assert putter is valid, and then facepalm. Wait. I'm confused. So what happened here? Was this printing 3 or where am I at? Am I count is 15. So the length is 14. I already have test 3. Where's test 2? Here's test 3. Printed test 3. Did I fail? Print failed attempting to autogrow. Wouldn't I have it like warn you that I'm about to autogrow? The first print function should fail, but it didn't. How did this work? This is where testing 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2. I mean, okay. So this is clearly an erroneous comment here. Expecting what? Tonal count. Wait, wouldn't I want to have a count of 1? Where's my null termination character? Right. So um whenever I created this, how did I go about doing that? Print item. When I reset, count is 1. All right. Got to do a little bit of pointer arithmetic here. All right. Is the pointer equal? Oh. Damn it. Can't type. What other thing's a nemesis? CHT. Oh shit, son. What? Wait. No. What? Damn, I can't convert a CHC to CHC. Boy, it really doesn't like this one at all. Just hates it. Is it still the autoject BS? Cannot convert from autoject to const string. Where am I passing in an autoject in here? Wait, why am I even doing this? Do I even need this thing in here? What happens if I do this? Doesn't do anything, huh? So, I mean, that's going to get me DC out the string. All right. So, what happened with this? It's a macro. Debug. Yeah, if I'm doing this, then I would want to do this. Uh oh. Okay, then we need the release. Get the print anything in here, huh? Look it up. Undef. Right? DCL string. Oh, did I get rid of the debug? Why is this HXX? This is just an H. HXX actually wouldn't make any sense. How did that happen? None of these things have any. Stuff out. Undef. HXX. I don't think I need to. That was a minor change. DC out string. All right, so we got the line. They're all just macros in here. What am I looking at? DC out string. Sugar. You know you're not supposed to do that. Baby. She runs in fear from the broom. She's a bunny. She keeps eating on the wall. Oh, she knows she's not supposed to do what she keeps doing. The thing about bunnies, some of them chew, some of them don't. All right, so what's the other one? DC out string. So release, we wouldn't do this. Is it? I just wish she wouldn't eat the wall. I need to cover up with a 2x8 board, and she can gnaw on the board. But then you're teaching her to gnaw on the wood on the side, almost like I need metal or something. I just teach her to just gnaw on the 2x4s. You just don't keep 2x4s around her unless you want her to gnaw on it. All right. Still having the same problem. Auto jack reject pile, huh? Cannot convert argument to. What about this other one? Initializing from here. End equals what? Begin. Begin equals what? T footer. Yeah, T footer. T footer. And then account. Begin equals what? This seems like it shouldn't be a problem. Cannot convert from one type to the same type. But I just missed that as an error. It's got to be related to this because it keeps going on. DC out string. Argument to it says it cannot convert it from an auto jack to a string. I don't have anything about an auto jack here though. That's why I'm really confused about this whole thing. That would help. Cannot convert argument to from auto jack to const. I just it doesn't say anything about an auto jack. So let's look at this. So let's look at this. Um, this is kind of weird. Okay, so let me replace that with something else. What does the thing say? Can I convert from an autoject? Okay, well. Conster makes the most sense. And then this thing is just not really doing what it's supposed to do. I'm going to go around and look at all the print functions. I need to get out of here. I'm so close, though. There's just no autojects in here. That's what's so confusing about it. So this one prints correctly, right? It's so confusing. Well, I'm going to tune out because that's just stupid. Thanks for tuning in.